Today, the verse of the day is exactly that. I'm just suggesting you ponder and think about one verse. And it's because this is a verse that I've had people speak to me about from time to time when they were going through a particularly difficult or heartbreaking or challenging situation. And it's 1 Corinthians 10:13, where Paul says, "No testing has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tested beyond your strength. But with the testing, he will also provide the way out so that you may be able to endure it." The reason why I say this is such a challenging verse is when we have had people, when I have known people in our church and elsewhere who, for example, have suffered the sudden and tragic loss of a child. That loss is so overwhelming. It's so painful. It just strikes right to the very heart and core of our soul. And some people have come to me and said, I feel like I am being tested beyond my strength because this is more than I can bear. And it's a fair statement. And we all, even those of us who have not suffered such a loss, we can certainly empathize with why someone would say that and feel that way. But I do think it's important to kind of qualify this verse, to look closely. It's no testing has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. The heartbreaking loss of a child is not a type of testing that's common to everyone. Everyone hasn't had that experience. And so I think part of understanding for people who have gone through that, they don't need to feel guilty about feeling overwhelmed by that loss, because Paul here is talking about testing that's common to everyone. All right, so what is that? What is testing that's common to everyone? Well, disappointment, loneliness, worry, fear, anxiety, grief in general, because everyone experiences loss in life. These are things that are common to everyone. And Paul is saying the testing that's common to everyone, that God is faithful. And we don't necessarily know what the extent of our strength is. We may feel like we're at the end of our rope, so to speak, or we don't have any more energy or strength to give. But God is faithful. And with God's help, our strength may be greater than we imagine or know. Sometimes people will say, after going through a difficult experience, I don't know how I got through that. I only got through that with God's help. And I think that's where Paul is going with this verse. And again, he says, with the testing, God will provide the way out so you may be able to endure it. The way to endure any testing, any trial, is certainly by relying upon God and believing and trusting that underneath are the everlasting arms that will never let us go, even when we feel like we can't hold on anymore.